Today on Shop Nation, we transformed this plain, unorganized pantry into something that looks a heck of a lot better and is a lot more functional. And I'll show you exactly how I did it. What's up, you guys? I'm Travis, this is Shop Nation, and on today's episode, we're gonna tackle a honey-do list item. So as you may know, we just bought this house, and upon moving in, we realized that the pantry leaves a little bit to be desired. So yeah. So as you can see, we just moved in, so obviously nothing is organized, but we did that for a reason because we knew we wanted to upgrade the space anyways. Now I have a feeling that this type of pantry is fairly common out there in the world because, let's face it, it's cheap to put in. These wire racks are terrible and show up in just about every single closet across America. And just like COVID, we need to social distance from them. So instead of the terrible wire racks, we're gonna give this pantry a facelift by building lower cabinets with pull-out drawers and solid shelves above that. It should not only make the inside of the pantry look a heck of a lot better, but also be a lot more functional. And the first thing we need to do is clear out everything from the pantry, rip out all the shelves, patch all the holes so we start with a blank slate. All right, with everything cleared out of the pantry, now it's time to remove all those little hangers that are in the wall from the wire shelves. Now there is a trick to doing this. You wanna make sure you pull out the nail first and then the anchor. If you try and pull out the whole thing at once, you leave a big hole in the wall which you then have to patch. So the smaller the hole, the smaller the patch, the better it's gonna look. All right, now with every single one of those things taken out of the wall, now would be a good time to patch those holes. Now you can buy spackle that's reinforced with some fibers for big holes, so you don't have to use the old roll up a piece of toilet paper and shove it in the hole trick, but whatever works. One thing I would recommend though is after you patch the holes, go back and sand them, because no matter how flat you thought you got them in the first place, there's always gonna be a little dimple where the hole used to be. So I'm gonna wait to touch up those spots with paint until after we put everything back in. So now let's head out in the garage and cut some wood. So you may notice, I don't have a table saw in the shop yet, so I'm gonna do this entire project without one. Don't get caught in the lie that you can't do something just because you don't have a shop full of tools. The combination of this Kreg track saw and the ACS table allow me to do just about everything a table saw can do, but heck, a circular saw with a straight edge would work too. Here, just marking and cutting out the toe kick notches in each of the cabinet side panels. These small, precise cuts is where the Kreg ACS table, in my opinion, really shines. And believe it or not, there is actually dust collection in this workbench. I just couldn't find the hose for my track saw, And I do actually have a full build series and plans for this little compact workbench. Now just assembling the lower cabinet frames with some glue and pocket hole screws. See, cabinets ain't that hard. So moving on to what will be the shelf frames made out of 2x2s. It should make a lot more sense here in a minute. All right, so before bringing in and setting the two lower cabinet carcasses that we've already built, I want to put up the framework that's going to support the 3 shelves above where those lower cabinets are going to sit. My thought process here is that without the lower cabinets in the way, it should be easier to mount them. We'll see. So it has taken me all of my 32 years on this planet Earth to figure out that these old magnetic stud finders are so much better than those voodoo meters that don't actually work. And they never run out of batteries. So the 2x2s around the edges carry all the weight of the shelf. The 3 in the middle are just acting as spacers. Hopefully that makes sense now. All right, so now with the shelf framing up, let's move in those lower cabinets. So the next step for the 3 shelves is to add the 1/2-inch plywood top and the 1/8-inch plywood bottom. I'm going to secure both of these with some construction adhesive as well as some pin nails. To be honest, I'm not even sure if the construction adhesive is totally necessary, but it's not going to hurt. And then finally, to finish them off, adding a 1x3 board to the front of each shelf. So let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Skillshare. Now chances are if you're on YouTube and watching this video specifically, you want to learn something. Well, why not use a platform like Skillshare where you can learn from people who are maybe a bit more qualified than I am. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes ranging from crocheting all the way up to woodworking. Skillshare classes includes a combination of video lessons as well as a project, so you actually get to practice what you learn. Most classes are under 60 minutes and you can take them in bite-sized chunks so you can fit them in whatever schedule you have. A couple classes that I've checked out and really enjoyed was the first one called Setting Up Your Wood Shop by Brittany Joyner, as well as a really good class called Introduction to 3D Printing by Lauren Slowick. Members get unlimited access, and for less than $10 a month when you sign up for an annual subscription, that value is pretty good. And to make it even easier, the first 1,000 people to join Skillshare using the link in the video description below will get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. So whether you're a beginner or a professional, I would really urge you to check out Skillshare. Sign up in the link below. There's no risk. Check it out. And big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Okay, let's get back to it. So for the top of the cabinets, I'm using some butcher block that I've stained and kind of distressed a little bit. Then to protect it, I applied 3 coats of a semi-matte polyurethane. Before I set anything in place, I'm going to go ahead and prep it all for paint. This includes some sanding and filling the holes on the shelves with some wood filler. And then finally caulking all of the edges. So obviously I suck at this, but the good news is that most of it will be hidden by paint anyways. Just be sure to use a wet finger to smooth everything out. And now I'll just go ahead and paint the patched areas. You'll notice that I didn't patch nor paint the ones on the back wall, but they're going to be hidden anyways. And just about now is when I realized that I can't actually fit the butcher block in with both cabinets in place. A little bit of problem solving, some trigonometry, and we got it worked out. All right, that's gonna do it for part 1 of the pantry build. On part 2, we're gonna be building the face frame, the drawers, getting it all mounted, and then painting everything else. I was really hoping to wrap this whole thing up in a weekend, but just couldn't do it. So realistically, this is how far I got in one weekend. All right guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully something that I was doing or messed up on somehow helps you in one of your projects in the future. I'm always open to criticism, so if you see something that I should have done different or something I maybe should have thought of, please leave those in the comments below and I'll be happy to address them. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like, and if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. I'll do a real quick subscriber update. As of shooting this video today, we are at 103,287 subscribers. Pound it. Pound it. Now, if you saw me use a tool or a material that you're interested in using yourself, be sure to check the video description down below and I'll try and link what I can. Thanks again for watching. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys on the next video, which will be part 2 of this build. And as always, continue to pursue shop greatness.